Hi guys, I'm Hannah. I'm a 29-year-old cash budgeter and stuffer in Southern California, and this is HF Budgets. Welcome to our first cash planning for April. I hope you guys are having a good week. I can't believe that we are already in the 4th month of the year, but here we are. So very exciting. This week we have $420 to budget with. As usual, we are going to start with my wallet today. My wallet gets the same amount each week. It gets $60 in groceries, $40 in gas, $40 in eating out, and then $35 in spending, which will bring us to a total of $175. Awesome. So before we put anything on the calculator, I'm going to jump into our yellow binder, which is our savings challenge binder. And we are going to start in here. So the first things that I'm going to do are going to be what I know are set amounts and are going to essentially get the same, either we scratched it or we know is a set amount for this week. And so the first place that we are going to go is going to be our first savings challenge. I don't know why I'm jumping around. Our first savings challenge here is in the Savings with Friends challenge book by Budget with Amanda. We are currently working on 101 Dalmatians, which is to save 100. And last week during our cash stuffing, we scratched a 10 and a 5. So we're going to go ahead and stuff $15 into this week. Oops. And then I'll go ahead and scratch that off camera so we know that we have budgeted for these two. And then when we do our cash stuffing, we'll scratch our next two to keep this going. All right. Our next savings challenge is this Road to 500. It is a game board like savings challenge. This is from a cash dash activity book that I got over on Amazon. The description down below. And we are going to go ahead and budget $10 into this one today. So each space is $10, and then you keep adding as we go along the road and color it in. It'll show us what we've saved over the road of this savings journey. So that is exciting. All right, next up, we're gonna come back to our pizza because this one has a little more flexibility and we get to choose our number. But we are gonna jump into our friend savings challenge. This is a savings challenge by Oh Mama Budgets. I got it before she went on a break. She is now returned. So go check her out on Instagram. We scratched the $16 last week, so we are gonna go ahead and stuff $16 into our friends challenge this week. This savings challenge is going towards an extra car payment, so that is exciting. We are almost completed with this one. We'll have 3 more, so we'll scratch one of the 3 in our cash stuffing this week. All right, our next savings challenge that we're going to jump into is going to be this April savings challenge. This is one of the 3 year-longs that I'm doing, 2 of which are in this binder. This one is by Buttercup Budgets. I allocated each egg to be $1, and we're doing 1 row a week. So this week we are going to stuff $7 into this April challenge by Buttercup Budgets. This one's a cute one. I really like the yellow and pink vibe. Our second year-long challenge that we are doing is this April one from Budget with Amanda. And we are going to do, there's 3 5s on this challenge, which is awesome. So we are going to do the next, we're going to do a 5 and then the 3 here. So we're going to do $8 into Budget with Amanda's year-long. I did that a little weird, but that's our 8. All right, jumping into F1, we did have a Formula 1 race this past week. I'm gonna grab my Formula 1 journal. I do journal the races. This is something that I started last year and I've been really enjoying. So we are, we're currently doing a savings challenge for one of my favorite drivers. My favorite driver is Max Verstappen. He has been, I guess, my favorite driver since I started watching Formula 1. But we had a race in Japan this last weekend and he finished P8, so he finished 8th in the race, which means he got 4 points. This is definitely not his best season. They're having some car troubles. and it's definitely kind of hard to watch, but he did finish in the points, which means, and he did finish the race. The race he had in China, he didn't even finish the race. So this week, or this last race, he finished and finished in the points. So we are going to add $4 into this savings challenge because I am saving up the points that he is scoring in this F1 season. So we are adding 4 into F1. And then I just made this dashboard myself, just a fun little thing that makes me smile. So I'm enjoying it. All right, we will come back to our color one with budget with Carly because I know in our Save Your Way in 2026, we have a set amount and we are coming to a close on this one. We have a few more weeks left. We are gonna do this next rectangle here, which is a total of 24. I'm trying to finish this one up by May. We'll finish it in April because we have 3 weeks, 3 more little rectangles to go. So we will knock out this first one here and do $24 into this. Which puts us at $84, which is, I think we're doing okay. And then the last thing that is a set amount before we start kind of figuring out color and pizza is our Monday video. I do have a change coming to this next Monday video. Typically, last week we finished a box challenge and I was thinking about adding another one, but I'm gonna steer a different direction. So definitely check that out because I'm really excited about how the shift is, what the shift is, and how we're gonna change mini Mondays. But we are bumping this up to 35. Typically it gets $30, but we're gonna add an extra 5, and hopefully that works out with our budget, which I think it does. I did bump this week up by 5. I did get a little raise at work. That's not going to reflect in my budget because I'm putting that elsewhere, but currently I think we can do at least $5 a week to bump up our mini Monday video. Okay, so that puts us at 119. So I don't want to go too crazy. Let's first go to our pizza. So in our Pizza Fridays, we are working on our second column here, second row. Again, I'm gonna look it up and I will get back to you next week and have it correct. This week, we are gonna do $18 into our Pizza Fridays. I think that'll be okay. This is going towards my emergency fund, so I'm okay putting a little extra into this. Also, we want to knock out some of the higher numbers so we can move on to our next column. Yes. All right, that leaves our last challenge, which doesn't have a dashboard, but it is a color and save by Budget with Carly. I did get this over on their Kofi, and we're at 37. If we do 3, that'll put us at 140. So we're gonna do $3 in color. It's a little less than we have previously, but I think we'll knock out this last piece on the majority of the mug. And then we have some 3s at the bottom and the handles. But I think I've decided, initially this was gonna go in towards a brokerage account, and I'm still debating between either that, my Roth IRA, or my emergency fund. Essentially, it's going to go into savings one way or another, like long-term savings. So still trying to figure out, we'll see what the total is at the end once we complete it, and then maybe we can decide from there. But that'll take care of this challenge by the Budget with Carly. So that'll be all for our challenge binder. This SpongeBob challenge gets stuffed from our wallet, so we don't budget that out. That'll get stuffed in our actual cash stuffing. So we are gonna go ahead and let's see what we're actually working with for our sinking funds. So we had 420 minus the 175 from our wallet, minus the 140 from our savings challenges, which gives us 105, which is pretty typical for what we're putting into our binders. So there's actually, before we even jump into our brown binder, because I think our brown binder is going to get the same as it typically does, which is $5 for each envelope, there are a few priorities that I want to go into first, and the first one is going to be travel. Travel, I have $85 in currently, and I want to bump this up to $100 because I'm going to use this $100 on a trip I'm going towards this weekend. So I'm filming this video, I'm going to be pre-filming my cash stuffing and then mini Monday because I will be in Portland this weekend, which I am really looking forward to. So I'll be up there with some family friends for Easter, and yeah, really looking forward to that. But I do need some spending money for while I'm there, so I'm gonna put $15 into travel to round this out to 100, and then I'll take this out and we'll start from 0 next week on our next 100 to then stuff into our travel binder. So travel was essentially the big one that I wanted to work on. Another thing that I've been wanting to prioritize is gonna be clothing. We're at 90. Might be cutting it close. I'll come back to clothing and see if we can bump it up a little. Even if we can put $10 in it this week, I think that would be beneficial. I am shopping for my Europe trip, which is in May. I'm trying to get some solid wardrobe staples that I can kind of like mix and match with so I don't overpack, but then also have like good quality clothing for this summer. And clothing has never been something I've been like super into, so it has been a journey to find my style and then things that fit me well and that I feel comfortable and confident in. So sorry, that was a little tangent. Anyways, jumping back into our budget, personal health today is going to be getting 5. I think all of these are going to be getting their normal 5. Household is also going to be getting 5. I do have a few household items that I'm going to be needing to get soon, so you'll probably see that be depleted, not this week, but maybe next week or the following. Skincare is also going to get 5. Emergency, we are working on this savings challenge from Nessabudgets. It's in a $500 savings challenge, and we're going to go ahead and do another 5 this week. We are nearing the end on this savings challenge, and that is exciting. That means we have $500 in savings, at least like to kind of build our emergency fund. So that is exciting. Christmas is gonna get its usual 5, saving $5 a week for Christmas, and then anything from our minis. I have one challenge that's always allocated to Christmas, so that gets a little bump every now and again from our minis. And then our last envelope in this binder is going to be car maintenance, and that is getting 5. And that is all from our brown binder. All right, jumping into our back into our green binder, because we did start in here. We have $60 to work with, so let's see what we can do. Costco is going to get its typical 5. H Mart is also going to get 5. Friends is going to get 5. Yeah. Personal spending is going to get 5. And then we've already done travel. Hannah is going to get 5. Let me see if I put 5 in the rest of the envelopes, what that leaves clothing, if it leaves it with 5 or 10. So gifts will get 5. 30 Flirty and Thriving, which is saving up for my 30th birthday, which is this coming February, I guess. The next February, and me and my best friend from growing up are planning a 30th trip next summer, so solely saving for that. Shop Small is getting 5. Disney spending is getting 5. And then tech is also going to get 5. Okay, so that does leave us with $10. So we are going to put $10 into clothing. I will probably use this as well as either some Hannah money or personal spend to buy some clothing while I'm in Portland, because I don't have sales tax, and that is really nice. And where I live, sales tax is like 10%. So I'm going to be on the hunt for a good pair of jeans. That is my goal, but we will see. So this should be all. I'm going to go ahead and total this out to make sure that this is, this equals the 420 that we have. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So let's just give this one more once over. 35, 40, and 140. Perfect. So this is what we will be stuffing on Saturday. Thank you for joining me for another budget with me. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, go ahead and give it a like and a comment. And I'm just happy that you're here. So thank you for joining me on this and my journey in 2026 of being consistent. I hope you guys are having a great week, and I will see you next time.